Hey, how's it going, guys? So here I have the match for semifinals of the Winnetka League Cup at Fire and Dice. On our left, we have Travis playing Jurassic Park, and on our right, we have Daniel Collins playing Zoroark. I think he's playing Zoroark Lycanroc, but I'm not 100% sure. But we'll find out right now once he starts dropping some cards. But yeah. So Travis does get the coin flip. He is going to go first. We see him open up with 2 of the fossils, which is really good for him. And he did start Talonflame. Right now, Travis is in a really, really great position. We do see Bridget come down from Daniel Collins' side without a Lele, which is really good. Oh, he's playing. That's right. He was playing Zoroark Golisopod. Sorry, guys. I totally forgot what he was playing. But yeah. But once I saw that Tapu Koko, I remembered. Very good deck right now in the format. Zoroark Golisopod. It lets you get your Acerolas. It lets you get all the pieces that you really need to go off. So yeah. We do see Daniel Collins get a good start. Travis does get a rare candy, does evolve the fossil into the fighting Pokemon, and does get a Talonflame break. Does 40 damage to the Zoroark and searches his deck for 2 cards. We do see Daniel Collins get a DC and then plays N, so both of them are shuffling their hands and getting 6 cards. That kind of does throw Travis off his game. He's not going to be able to get his engine going or the pieces that he wanted. But yeah. Daniel Collins going with a Cynthia, does get a Golisopod up and running on his bench and does do 120 with his Zoroark. We do see Travis play a Cynthia, and before he plays a Cynthia, drops an energy on the Dinosaur Evolution, which is really good. He's gonna draw 6 cards. So now he can retreat, which is it's what he's gonna do, and hit with this dinosaur Pokemon. Gonna hit that Zoroark for a knockout. That's kind of the bad thing about this Pokemon, that it just swings on Zoroark so hard. We do see a Grass Energy on Golisopod, and we see Tapu Koko out on the active. Daniel Collins plays a Rescue Stretcher, gets a Zoroark, puts it on the bench. We see Field Blower come down, and we do see another N. I don't remember the HP on this Pokemon, but I think 150 knocks it out. Or I think it's weak against grass anyway, so yeah. So he does retreat, brings out First Impression, knocks it out. This Talonflame will be hitting for weakness if he gets a counter energy, but he is ahead in prizes, so the counter energy won't be doing much for him. Travis, looking at his hand after he Cynthia, grabbed those 6 cards, trying to figure out where he wants to go with it. Looking at his opponent's discard pile. We do see a Fletching come out of his hand. And he does 80 damage because of weakness, and searches for 2 cards to add to his hand. You would think that he wants to go for a rare candy and evolve this fossil that he has on the bench, but who knows, right? Maybe because Travis plays on a different level. That's what I would do because I'm just a simple guy like that. But Travis thinks so intricately. He's just trying to strategically put himself forward. So yeah. So we do see an Ultra Ball. He does get rid of an Oranguru and a Tapu Lele. Gets a Zoroark. He does have triple Zoroark on the bench. Kind of a bad thing to have against this deck because at any moment it can just go off. We do see double puzzle from Daniel Collins. We do see a Floatstone and an N. So we see Floatstone go on the Golisopod, and then he drops the N, which is good because that's gonna shuffle up Travis's hand and throw his combo off. We do see trade from Daniel Collins. And we're going to see knockout. Travis brings out the fletching. He puts a choice band on the fossil Pokemon on the bench, plays a Sycamore, draws 7 cards. We do see an Ultra Ball, discards a fighting energy, and that's it. Scoops it up. More than likely scooped it up because he knew that he's already behind and it was going to be really hard for him to try to catch up. So that wraps up game 1. Daniel Collins gets the first win, which is really good. Like I told you guys before in the video prior to this one, Jurassic Park is scary. It's a hard deck to play against. It counters almost everything. The fact that Daniel, but that's also another thing. It counters everything so hard, so you kind of play a little defensively, and you don't play Zoroarks. But Daniel Collins took the risk, played the Zoroarks, and it paid out because he got the cards that he needed. We do see an Ultra Ball. He gets a fletching, plays Cynthia, so he's going to draw 6 cards. And he does open up Talonflame with an energy, which is really good. Hopefully this match kind of turns around and lets Travis get a win so they can go into game 3. So he ends up passing after that Cynthia, which isn't really good. Daniel Collins does open up Lele. He's going to search for a Bridget, drop down a Zora, 2 Zoras, and a Golisopod. And a Wimpod, sorry. He plays another Wimpod from his hand. And it passes the turn. So now it's Travis's turn. He does play a Choice Band on the Talonflame and plays an end of his own. Hopefully Travis gets the pieces that he needs. He does get another fossil on the bench, which is good. And he does 40 damage. And he's searching for 2 cards to add to his hand. Daniel Collins did play Cynthia, shuffles, draws 6 cards, does play Evo Soda, gets a Zoroark out of his deck and puts it on the bench. We are going to see trade. We're going to see Ultra Ball discards that Mew, which is not useful at all in this match, and gets another Zoroark. You're going to see a Golisopod come down, and we see Flying Flip from Tapu Koko puts 20 damage on everything on the board. We see a rare candy. We do see that Fighting Dinosaur come out. We do see Puzzle Time gets another he brings back rare candy, evolves his Fletchinder into Talonflame. He did grab a Cynthia also with that Puzzle Time. We see an energy come down on the fighting Pokemon, and we see Cynthia. So he's going to shuffle, draw 6 cards. Travis does hit this Tapu Koko and is searching for 2 cards. So we do see double trade from Daniel Collins' side. We do see him get that energy on that Golisopod. And he does another flying flip, just damaging everything on the board, spreading that damage around, so then it's just easier for him to get knockouts with Zoroark, which is, I think that's where he's trying to go with this, which is really smart because Zoroark can't hit big numbers, but if you flying flip enough to spread enough damage around, it makes it so much easier later on. So Travis does play a Cynthia. He's gonna draw 6 cards. We're going to see Retreat brings out the other Talonflame, puts a counter energy on it, and he's going to Aero Blitz knock out this Tapu Koko and search for 2 cards. He does play Daniel Collins does bring up Golisopod with a Floatstone, does play N, so those 2 searches are practically pointless. I think he's trying to go for a DC and maybe using his GX to get a knockout here, which would be really good. We do see a trade. We're going to see a second trade. A Parallel City, bringing down Travis's board to 3. That's interesting. This kind of ruins his super boost energy strategy. So he does get rid of another Fletching or Fletchinder and passes and brings up a Tapu Lele. I kind of want to note too that Travis doesn't play Tapu Lele. The deck doesn't run it. It runs perfectly without it. So we do see Guzma. He's probably going to bring up... Oh, it brings up Tapu Koko. Oh, that's interesting. And then does attack it and knocks it out for weakness. We're going to see Field Blower, double puzzle from Daniel Collins. Gets back an N and a DCE. We're going to see the DC on the Golisopod, and we are going to see the N come down. Daniel Collins revealing that he does already have a Grass Energy on it, so it is ready to go. Does trade, and does a second trade. Retreats. Brings out Golisopod, and knocks out the Fighting Dinosaur Pokemon. We do see Talonflame with that counter energy, but sadly Travis has already taken a lead that he's not able to use the counter energy to its fullest ability. We do see a Field Blower gets rid of the Parallel City and the Floatstone from the Golisopod. And then Travis plays a Sycamore, draws 7 cards. We're going to see a Choice Band. So it does do 140. So 70 times 2 because of weakness. So 140 to this Golisopod. Doesn't knock it out, but that is a lot. Oh, Iron Press, I think. Armor Press. So it takes 20 less. Totally forgot about that. So we do see trade. Field Blower gets rid of that Choice Band. We see a Zoroark come down. We see Guzma brings up the other fighting Pokemon, knocks it out with the Golisopod first impression, or Armor Press, I believe. And then Talonflame comes back up. We do see a Choice Band come down from Travis' side. He does play another Fossil on his bench. And we see a counter energy go on the Fletchinder. Or the Fletching, not Fletchinder, sorry. We do see double puzzle come down from Travis' side. We see an N. I don't know if N's the best option. Your opponent has Zoroarks on the bench, which he can just trade into, you know? But at the same time, your opponent has like cards in his hand. I guess you want to reduce his hand size. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about N in this position. So Talonflame does get a knockout on this Golisopod. And Travis is searching. Daniel is waiting for him to finish his search. Travis is looking really thin. Not a lot of cards in there. So Danny Collins does promote Lele. We do see an N from Danny Collins. He's going to play that. And they're both going to shuffle. So we do see double trade. Get an energy. And then uses his GX, knocks out that Talonflame that was giving him such a hard time. We do see another Talonflame come down from Travis's side. We do see it retreat. And Arrow blitzes for 40. And searches for 2 cards, adds them to his hand. Travis making lots of leg room to advance his play. We do see a Guzma it's bringing up that fossil, does get a knockout on it. Danny Collins also played an Enhanced Hammer, getting rid of that counter energy. We see Talonflame. You see Rescue Stretcher brings back Talonflame Break, evolves it. We do see an N from Travis's side. He's going to reduce Danny Collins' hands to 2 and his own to 2 as well. He's getting that Talonflame ready for later on. So we do see Arrow Blitz does 40 damage to it and is searching for 2 cards. So Daniel trades. We see second trade. And we see third trade. Daniel's X coming down to the very last card. Checking his opponent's deck or discard pile to see what he's used, what resources he's gone through. So let's see if he can make a comeback. Right now, that Talonflame that's on the bench is giving him the hardest time. So it knocks out the Talonflame. You do see an Ultra Ball. Travis goes through his deck, is searching for something to add to his hand. He doesn't run Lele, so he can't Lele Guzma, which would be a weird play, but it would be a play. Yeah. So he fails the Ultra Ball search. He does play N, which will drop Daniel to 1 and him to 2. It does 40 damage and then searches his deck for 2 cards, adding them to his hand. Do see retreat, brings out Zoroark and attacks. And that pretty much wraps it up. Travis scoops up because he sees that there's no way he can come back from that. So yeah. And that wraps up this match of semifinals. Daniel Collins does take the win. He makes it into finals. Guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share the video with anybody that wants to see what semifinals looked like at Fire and Dice last weekend. Guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.